Juan Miro was a Spanish painter and sculptor who was born in 1893 in Barcelona. When he was 8 years old, he started taking drawing classes. He continued to pursue art as well as business as he got older. He ended up leaving business behind to fully devote himself to creating art. His early works were greatly influenced by Vincent van Gogh and Paul Cézanne. He moved to Paris and contributed to a very important movement in art history known as Surrealism. Surrealism artworks showed exploration of the imagination and dreamlike images. His whimsical abstract paintings combine line, shape, and color in very interesting ways. Many of these paintings use shapes and pictures as symbols that tell stories. Let's go ahead and get started on these stunning positive shaped images. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at the idea sheet that has different shapes that you can use for bodies, headpieces, and it might just get you started on coming up with what kinds of things you might want to use in this assignment. So on a piece of white paper, just go ahead and stencil some of that in, drawing it in, whatever you want, whatever kinds of shapes that you want. Use the front side, use the back side. Just go ahead and make these interesting shapes that you want to put on for your project. Make it into a shape, even if it's a line, because you're going to have to cut these out. So this is a practice sheet. Don't worry about any mistakes. If it looks like a line on paper, just go ahead and make it thicker, make it twice as thick so that you have an item that you can cut out. Once you're done with your shapes that you like, go ahead and take a scissors and cut them out. Okay, here we go. This is my last image. Once you have your shapes cut out, go ahead and grab a black sheet of paper, put your name and class code on the back side, and arrange them any way that you want. Please have at least 3 shapes put onto your paper. Now, choose a color of paint that you want to add to your paper. Add a little bit of white to it. And once you've got your paint that is lighter with the white paint together, take a paintbrush and start painting on the outside of the image. When you use your brush, start on the paper and brush outwards onto the black paper. I know that in my examples, I was like, oh, some of it went underneath the white paper. So I tried to make sure that I held it with one hand, the piece of paper, while my paintbrush went from the paper out onto the black paper. So just go ahead and push it outward, not from the black paper onto your paper. So it should always start on the white and push out onto the black. Once you're done painting them, peel it off and let it dry for a little bit. The paint dries relatively fast, so as it's drying, or as soon as it's dry, take some chalk pastels, not oil pastels. These are chalk pastels, the dusty stuff. So, and then just take the same color that you used with paint with your chalks, and then fill in the leftover background space. I added a little bit of yellow with my orange just for a little variety so that the colors can mix and make some cool designs. Once I've got my chalk put onto the black paper, I'm going to take my finger and start smudging and mixing the chalk into the black paper so that the black paper really stands out that I painted from earlier. That you can really start to see the star shape, that you can really see the wavy shape. So we want to leave those parts in black, and my background is the part that I'm coloring in. Once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and set my chalks aside, put those away, wash my hands, and now I'll be ready for the oil pastels. The pastels that are rich with color and very bright. Remember, they kind of make me think of paint sticks. Now going back to the idea sheet, I can decorate with any kinds of shapes on the black part, as well as making some lines, shapes, and designs into the background space or the orange space. I think that this makes my positive images really stand out and be creative, as well as the background. So the idea sheet can be really, really helpful, remembering some of the artwork by Miro and start implying some of those same shapes and designs into my project and using some of my own creativity as well. I think that this project is really fun because it allows me to be inspired by another artist as well as use some of my own designs and shapes. Black and white really show up nicely onto this project, so you'll notice that those are the colors that I'm using the most of. So black area onto the background and white oil pastel onto the black paper really make this project dynamic and stand out. Let's review these steps again. Pencil in some Miro shapes. Cut them out, arrange them onto black paper. Grab some paint with a little bit of white and start using that paint to go around your images. Now, peel those images away from the black paper and add some chalk onto your black paper for the background. Smear it with your finger to blend it into the background space. Add some really cool designs with oil pastels. Have fun, everyone!